Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Crypto Lark. Today, we're going to be talking about Iota as part of our continuing series, Where Are They Now? Before we get into that, a quick shout out, as always, to everyone who's been hitting that like button, and of course, everyone who's been subscribing to the channel. And that is a massive thank you to all the people who have been here for a while. Big welcome to new subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber yet, hit that button down below to stay up to date with all of the latest in crypto space, or the bell. Furthermore, this is of course not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. Let's get into it. Now, in order to understand what is cool about Iota, it's actually important to understand, well, what's up with this Internet of Things stuff anyway? It's all about connected devices, guys. By 2020, we are going to have 50 billion connected devices. That is a gargantuan amount of connected devices, considering there's only 7 billion plus people in the world. That is going to grow, of course, as... Let's expand that timeline a little bit. Another 10 years down the line, imagine all the developing countries that are going to start consuming more goods. The scope of this is huge. It's manufacturing, it's healthcare, it's business, it's your home, it's your phone, it's your fridge, and of course, everyone's favorite, the smart toaster. Oh, what do toasters talk about when they talk to each other? How good that sliced bread feels when they toast it? Goodness gracious, who knows? Anyway, you'll also see great implementations for industrial sensors, RFID tags. In fact, the guys at Iota have been in contact with the guys from Modem. Modem is considering using Iota as a second option for their RFID tags in the future. So a lot of potential here. Now, let's try and break down what Iota is a little bit more. Iota is not a blockchain. It's a Tangle. Now, this is still distributed ledger technology, but this is a DAG. That is a directed acyclic graph. So as you can see, the structure is a little bit different. Now, what we need to know as users, there are no miners, therefore there are zero fees. And that, of course, is what makes Iota so attractive for microtransactions. There is a proof of work concept here, though. In order to send a transaction, you actually have to verify 2 other transactions. So that, of course, helps to make sure that there's no spamming of the network. Now, as we see more users come to the network, we will see that network effect growth-wise. So the more people who are using it, the faster the network will become, potentially up to the theoretical capacity of how fast these things can go. Now, when we talk about microtransactions too, I do want to point out that the unit that you buy on an exchange is called a myota. So one myota is different from one iota. One iota is more like one satoshi, whereas one myota is currently the full version that you buy on an exchange. There are also KIs and GIs and TIs and PIs, although the TIs and PIs aren't really used very much since there's such a gigantic quantity of Iota. The Iota wallet will be seeing upgrades soon, which is fantastic because the Iota desktop wallet, I believe, is generally reviled by anyone who's ever had to use it. It's, yeah, we'll just leave it there. The good news is, though, is that there is a new wallet being developed. It's the Trinity Wallet, developed by a student down at the University College of London, and he is now going to be part of the Iota team. So the user interface on this looks pretty good. Hopefully it can deliver and actually provide a nice, intuitive user experience for using Iota. That would be fantastic. The guys over at Iota are working on a data marketplace. So not only will your toaster be talking to other toasters, but your toaster will be talking to the fridge. The fridge will say, hey man, I'm getting pretty low on bread over here. The toaster will say, well, you should probably order some then. So the fridge will then talk to someone else and order some more bread for you. It's It's a crazy future that we're heading towards. But nevertheless, this data marketplace will be machine-to-machine communication using Iota to transfer value back and forth. Iota has been nailing a lot of partnerships recently. ITIC to build a global alliance of smart mobility testbeds. The government of Tokyo has also selected Iota for its accelerator program, for blockchain accelerator program, of course. Very cool, even though technically not a blockchain, but nevertheless. BII Labs, working on them with the data marketplace. Taipei, so this is another capital city in East Asia, which is fantastic, working on the Smart Living Lab initiative. This is, of course, about making smart cities. They want to make Taipei into a leading smart city, using Iota as the foundation of that. These are amazing partnerships that Iota has been getting, without a doubt, and that's just the start of it. Volkswagen cooperation with Iota Foundation. Imagine a future where your car, you get out of your car at work, you haven't driven it there anyway, but you get out of your car at work, your car goes and parks itself, but it has to pay to park. But your car takes care of that. It goes over, it talks to the parking meter, pays the fee, and it goes and parks up. All done using Iota yet again. They've also partnered with Bosch. This is a tweet from Rolf Werner. He is the head of Fujitsu, or one of the heads of Fujitsu, I should say, mentioning Iota's potential to be a real asset to Fujitsu. Now, not all is rosy in partnership land. There was a miscommunication about being partnered with Microsoft. Microsoft said, we're happy to partner with Iota, blah, 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 blah. Where actually it was, Iota saw it as, Iota is happy to have Microsoft as a participant in this, and so people got a little bit excited about that. It was just some miswording. It was not a partnership, but Microsoft nevertheless is participating in what is going on. Differences here, guys. The biggest scandal recently has been this. So this is from MIT's Decentralized Currency Initiative. Now, essentially, what has gone on here is that, oh, sorry, it's a Digital Currency Initiative. What has gone on here is that they came out and said, hey, there's these problems, and the guys at Iota came out and, look, I'm not going to break down the whole story here for you because it's a long story and I'm not giving too much weight to it. If you want to find out more about it, Iota has made an official statement on it. Come over here and check it out. Like I said, I don't see it as being the big scandal that a lot of people blow it up to be. There's cherry-picked information and social media, and so you try and get the official story, guys. This is the official story from Iota. We're waiting on an official story from the guys over at MIT Labs as far as their response to what Iota has been saying. This is dated February 27th, so we might see some more developments coming on this story soon. Until we see something definitive, well, we shall let that one lie a bit. Now, the Iota network has recently been upgraded as well, increasing transaction times, which is really cool. It's actually a 40% performance upgrade. Nice. And again, the more network users we see, the faster the network will become. Iota has an ecosystem development fund where they're funding things like hackathons and trying to find people who will build technology that utilizes Iota. And there have been a lot of interesting use cases from hackathons already that have come out, not to mention, of course, what we're going to see coming out over the next year. Now, the year in preview, obviously we're looking at more partnerships. Obviously we're looking at more hackathons, more use cases for Iota. They're putting in offices all around the world. They're planning on another 7 offices this year. That's on top of 3 plus 1 from in Tel Aviv, so another 6 that we're going to see rolling out by the end of the year. It'll be a total of 10 offices by the end of 2018 in strategic locations around the world. That gives them a great global reach to get out there, connect with people, connect with developers, connect with companies. So very cool stuff. They've been over in Russia a bit recently as well. There have been rumors of some form of smart contract coming to Iota. Now, we've got contradicting information here, so at this point it's not much more than rumor status. Some people from Iota have been quoted as saying, yes, we're looking at it. Other people from Iota have been quoted as saying, no, that's not a thing. Let's wait and see for this to come to a bit more fruition. But this would be an amazing asset for Iota to actually implement if they could get smart contracts set up. So we'll have to wait and see how that looks moving forward. I would imagine this is something that will happen. It's simply a question of when that will happen, but at this stage, just rumor, guys. Now, some other potential concerns you might want to keep in mind about Iota, except for, you know, the desktop wallet and some of the FUD that's been going around recently. Some of the future features of Iota as of yet are untested because the problems simply haven't come in yet. Things like Iota's reported quantum resistance or AI resistance, well, they haven't actually been tested for that yet, so we'll actually have to wait and see if that will actually be the case when it is tested against quantum computers and AI, which are trying to attack the Iota network. Iota is currently centralized. Essentially, there is a coordinator that is maintaining the network. They are promising that this is a temporary measure, that as we see more users coming to the network, that will be done away with in the future. But right now, they are worried that the network hasn't reached that critical mass yet where they feel comfortable stepping back. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Other things like the one-time use address is being addressed. They are working on how to not have that be the case, so it makes it a little more user-friendly in the future for setting up, for example, donation addresses. So all these things are coming to fruition, guys. Now, Iota had recent highs of over $5 back in December. We have, of course, come way down since then, but we're still really up on the overall value. If you look back 6 months ago, we're still up quite significantly on Iota. I think this is a project that has really big potential moving forward as more partnerships develop, as more use cases develop, and as more people build technology that utilizes Iota. Remember, the Iota industry is growing massively, and it's not to say that there aren't other people doing this. We also have Iota Chain, and a lot of other cryptocurrencies are looking at how to integrate themselves into the coming economic boom that will be brought on by the Iota revolution. But currently, Iota is the leader in the cryptocurrency space, as they have been able to nail down so many really solid partnerships. Great team, growing team, a lot going for Iota without a doubt. Anyway, guys, you'll let me know what you think about Iota in the comments section down below. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.